So in this lecture, let's go ahead and start adding some styling to our products page. So the very first thing which we will do here is that we will go ahead and get Bootstrap for our website so that our site looks much more better. So let's search for Bootstrap 4 and make sure that you are using the same version as mine, and we should actually go to the Bootstrap's official website, which is getbootstrap.com. So if you simply go here, you should be able to find the option to download. So click on download in here, and if you scroll down a little bit, you should actually have this Bootstrap CDN in here, and you can actually copy these CDN links and you don't need anything else except for them. So once you go ahead and do that, you're pretty much good to go. So now in the index.html, we will actually get rid of these particular things in here. So you can either delete them completely, or you can just go ahead and keep them at the bottom. So for now, let's go ahead and add the HTML tags in here. So I'll just go ahead, use a exclamation mark and hit enter on Visual Studio Code, and that should actually give you a HTML template to work with. So now once we have this particular head tag, you can go ahead and paste that Bootstrap link up in here. So once you have pasted that, now your site is going to use Bootstrap. So now in the body tag, we are going to go ahead and start defining the Bootstrap container, and we are going to add rows and columns. But even before that, I want to tell you guys how exactly we are actually planning to create this particular site. So if we open up the browser, as you can see, we have the browser window. So the way in which we want to design the products listing page is that we want actually 1, 2, 3, and 4 products listed up over here. So the first product is going to be here, along with the product image, the product name, the product price, and the second product is going to have the same layout. So the second product is going to be aligned to the right of the first one, and then we are going to have the third one, then we are going to have the fourth one. And if we keep on adding any more products, those should be added up over here in the next row. So now how exactly can we go ahead and do that? So first of all, we need to go ahead and create a container. So I'll type in div class container, which is going to hold up all the contents of our page, and in there I'll create a row. So div class is going to be equal to row, and in this particular row we are going to go ahead and set up some columns. So as we only want 4 products in here, out of the 12 Bootstrap columns which we have, we divide 12 by 4, which means we get 3. So each column should have a size of 3. So I'll type in div class call-md-3. So that means each one of the product actually spans 3 columns on a medium-sized device. So we can do that for the larger devices and smaller devices as well, but for now let's just stick to the medium-sized devices. So now once we have that in there, we are going to go ahead and we are going to create a card for each one of our product. So I'll go ahead and I'll type in div class equals card, and the card is going to obviously have the image as well as the card body, and in the card body we are going to have card text. So I'll type in image, and the source is going to be the path for the image, and in here we are also going to add the class as well. So the class is going to be the Bootstrap class, which is nothing but card-img-top, and this is the by default Bootstrap class for the card image. So make sure to add that, and now let's define the card body. So div class is going to be card body, and the card body is going to have some text, and that text is going to be nothing but the product name. So I'll type in div class, and the class here is going to be card title. So these classes are actually quite important because they are going to ensure that this particular div element have some specific looks. And in here for now, let's type in product name. So I can type in product name in here, and let's also add some card text in here right after this particular div tag ends. So I'll again create another div, and I'll add the class as cart dash text. So cart title and cart text are actually a little bit different, and this should actually list our product price. Okay, so once we do that, we are pretty much good to go. So now this is just a template, and we have not added our dynamic content, which is this right over here, but soon we are going to do that, and I'll explain you guys how this thing is going to work. So if you go back over here, as you can see, we are going to have a single row in here, and in the single row we want to display multiple products. So in order to display multiple products, we first actually need to loop through each one of those products. So we are going to start our for loop from inside this particular row, and we are going to use the for loop for each particular column. So this will give you an idea where exactly you need to start this particular for loop. So I will just go ahead, cut that, and you need to paste it right after the row. And that's because we want to loop through all the columns in here, and this thing is the div tag to create columns. And as you can see, this is where exactly the column ends. Visual Studio is going to give you a clue that this div tag ends over here. So we are going to go ahead and end our loop right over here. So let's go ahead, cut that from here, and let's again make sure that we are pasting it in the right place. So just paste it in here. So once we go ahead and do that, let's also delete this, and now we will actually have the product.title in here in place of the product name. So I'll type in product.title in here and product.price in here. So I'll type in product.price. And for the image, we are going to go ahead and we'll just type in the image source as product.image. And now let's go ahead, save the code, and see how our site looks like. So let's switch back to the browser, and when I hit refresh, as you can see, we do have the product name and the product price, but for some reason we don't have the product image yet, and that's because I again misspelled this, and I don't know, for some weird reason some of the keys of my keyboard actually sometimes get stuck. So now if we refresh, as you can see, we have the product images in here. And if you notice this thing right here, as you can see, the bike's image is not aligned properly, and that's because we have not used the image of the same size. So before starting the next lecture, I'll make sure to find an image of appropriate size and replace this image with a new one. But for now, as you can see, the products are listed in a pretty simple and decent way. We are yet to style them using proper CSS code. So in the upcoming lecture, we will go ahead and add a little bit of styling to these products so that it looks much more better. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you.